was incredibly moved by the script. I feel like on the one hand, we've seen aspects of this story before in terms of the occupation, the German occupation of France, and also the impact that can have on communities for decades to come. But there's something about the impact it has on these individuals and the choices that they make and the degree of compassion and kindness that they extend to each other, and at the risk of their own lives. I would say that it's a story about two families in a small town in German-occupied France during World War II, and that a non-Jewish family chooses to shelter a young Jewish girl who's been separated from her parents. And we witness the impact that choice has on everybody, and the risk that they take in doing so. And yet we see very clearly that they feel themselves that they have no choice, they don't think twice about it. You've gone from living in a perfectly comfortable, quiet, small village to suddenly having aggressive strangers who speak another language taking over, and people were killed with impunity, and you didn't know how to trust anymore. You didn't know whether you could trust your neighbors anymore, whether they were sympathizing with the Germans or whether they were sympathizing with the resistance, and so life changed very profoundly, very quickly for France. But especially some of these small rural towns, and so making the choice to shelter Sarah, who is Jewish and was meant to be put on a train to head to a concentration camp. The fact that they're sheltering her means that they would all be killed, without question. And so it's not just a matter of they'd be fined or their hands would be slapped or they'd be reprimanded in some way. They would absolutely have been murdered. And so it's a very big and consequential choice that they're taking on.
One of the children's missing.
Find him!
And how much courage it took to be kind.
You need to come with me right now. I know a way out.
You stay with us, okay? When in dark times, those small things remind us of our humanity.
Vivian she's essentially a rural housewife and mother in a small town on the outskirts of Paris in France. And I've imagined that she, works the land around their house, and they use the food that they grow, and she possibly sells the surplus in the town market. And they have a very small, loving family life at home. Her husband, Jean-Paul, works in the sewers, and I have to imagine that given the impact that illness has on a family. When Julian contracted polio when he was very young, the impact that would have had on the family, both devastating for them financially, has continued to affect them for years to come.